Hi, welcome back, everybody. Welcome if you're new. It has been a while since I've published here on this channel. As a matter of fact, the last video you saw was me telling you how great things were. And I'm laughing because how things have changed. If you follow me over on my other channel, Mimi's Treasure Cottage, one of the last two videos that I just published over there talks a little bit about what's been going on. And if you're interested in knowing about that, you can check out that video. If I can link it here in an iCard, I never know which side it's going to be. I'll do that. Otherwise, the link will be down in the description below. I do hope you'll check that out. I decided to go ahead and, first of all, I'm going to wish you a very happy St. Patrick's Day. Any of you that have been following me for a while know that this holiday is a very special one for me. And over the years, I have created a number of different projects specifically related to the St. Patrick's Day holiday. And so I decided to pull a few videos that I made way back. I went in the way back machine. This was before I even showed my face on camera. My setup was bad. My camera was temperamental. But I cobbled those together for you to present a couple of my favorite projects actually for you. I think you're really going to enjoy them. So watch to the end. There are two projects. I have a flip through of a junk journal that I made, and then I had some really neat beaded jewelry, and that's at the end. If you see these pictures back here behind me, I just wanted to point those out for you because I am going to be doing a paint and sip party. It will be a paid event, and so if you are interested, it is going to be Sunday, April the 12th from 2 to 4 p.m. And you can email me for more information, and we will use my main email address, which is mimistreasurecottage@gmail.com. That's the best way to get a hold of me. Email me for more information and we will get you set up. So hopefully that'll go ahead. I need 4 people in order to make that work. But I thought that was kind of cool for the spring. I have 2 different orientations there. So, and if you take the class from me, I will explain to you the different ways that you can change your picture up so that you can make it either portrait or landscape. And also you'll see that I have 2 different sizes there. So if you do take it from me, it is going to be a live class. So you will get a link to a live video. You'll be able to communicate with me in the chat. And the materials are pretty inexpensive that you can find anywhere. So again, email me if you're interested. The cost will be $25 per person, I can tell you that. And I do hope that you're going to enjoy these projects that I'm presenting. Again, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Today I'd like to share with you a St. Patrick's Day junk journal that I did. St. Patrick's Day is a holiday that's very near and dear to my heart because it was my mother's birthday. And even though we are not Irish, on that day my mother was always honorary Irish. And so we kind of celebrated, did a lot of decorating and those sorts of things. So this book is actually in memory of my mom, and I think she would have liked it, actually. I probably would have given it to her. Anyway, this is a junk journal book. It is bound with cardboard sides, so it's a hardcover book. 6 3/4 inches by 4.5 inches, 1.5 inch spine. On the front of this, I have, these are a couple of different flowers that I put together, and the flowers actually came with the 5 little pearls around the outside, and then I put a flat back pearl in there. Then it has a doily there. On the side I have some lace and trims, some more flat back pearls. On the back I have this nice little, I have some cheesecloth and then this nice little trim here with some bling. For the front, for the closure, this is actually a clip-on earring. And I've sewed it into the book and looped around. I don't know what kind of fiber this is, actually. It's not seam binding. It's some sort of fiber. And then on the back, I have a couple of little charms where I've hooked it into the book. The book is, I didn't put any pockets on the inside. I have stitching on some of the pages and stamping, and on most of the pages, you'll see some bubble wrap stamping. So I have all of these. It's very blank, not a lot of decoration, so that there can be journaling done inside. And this is a cute little journaling card that I made there. Or actually, this one probably isn't, since it's got text on the back. that little paperclip embellishment, which is just some eyelash trim and on a piece of cardboard with plastic shamrock on the top of it. My images, just to let you know, I got my images, they were all freebies from All My Cottage blog, Greta Brinkley, Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and Lisa Volrath. A couple of them were from Pinterest and no credit was given. I'm not sure what's from what, to be quite honest with you, although I do think, I was going to say I think this one is from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. So there's a little tuck spot there. And I'll just go through these pages pretty quick. This is fabric with some book page in there. This is a great little shamrock embellishment that I got one time. I think it's from Joanne Fabrics. More little images in the tuck spots there. This actually folds out to journal on. I love the St. Patrick's Day paper, and so I have a few pages tucked throughout. This time I did something with my little ties. I put some shamrock buttons on them. More of that shamrock embellishment. Some bling. This is fun. I love this kind of beaded trim. Second signature. There are 3 signatures in the book. This is another embellishment that I added these cute little wire things with. It had little jewels on the end of them. This also is a fold out. More bling. Another pocket there. This is one that I did with coffee staining and stenciling. I mentioned it before. There's a video on YouTube. I think that it's by Crafty Arena that talks about how to do that. Most of my coffee dyeing, and all the pages are coffee dyed, most of the coffee dyeing I did by putting instant coffee into a spray bottle and then just simply spraying it onto the pages rather than painting it or anything else like that. I kind of like the splotchy look. And I also then sprayed it with Dilution's lime green, I think. I edged all the pages also then with Distress ink. Couldn't think of the name for a second. I love the little touches of fabric. I think that's fun. This is a pocket that I made there. So I have those 2 in there. And then on the other side I have a little tuck spot that I don't have anything in. So I'll probably move up a little bit. Another pocket. Third signature. This is, I don't know what kind, I think this is a vintage paper right here on this page. I have a piece of, here it is. Is this one it? No. I have a piece of vintage ledger paper in here somewhere. Hopefully when I get to it I'll see. These actually are nice little journal things you can, this is napkin decoupage onto a tag. And you can journal on the back of that. Cute little envelope that I covered with scrapbook paper. Tissue. I like their tissue in the books. Again on the inside. Oh, and I forgot to put this back in. I took pictures earlier and I forgot to have these in here. This is actually a little book. So it's a little journaling book that you can write whatever you'd like to in, and it tucks right back behind this band. Right there. More of that vintage paper. I like that vintage paper. So that's not really coffee dyed or anything. That's just the color of that paper. And then that's the last page. I'm not sure. I'm looking for the vintage paper. It might have been that ledger paper on the end. No, that's not it. Oh well. There's vintage ledger paper in here. But this was a fun book to make. Every time I do a project that's St. Patrick's Day themed, it kind of makes me feel close to my mom, who I miss. Mom passed away 4 years ago. This month, actually, before her birthday. So this is my St. Patrick's Day book. I hope you enjoy it, and please like and subscribe. I would really like that as I'm trying to get going. You'll see more of this kind of stuff, hopefully routinely. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. I'm glad to have you on board. Today I'd like to share with you a project I made a couple of years ago. It's a Shamrock St. Patrick's Day bracelet, and then these earrings that I did. This is an example of the bead embroidery that I have done. I like to create in kind of a freeform style, although these, as you can tell, did have a pattern to them. And I'm actually going to film a tutorial on how to do some of this bead embroidery work. I'm not going to do the back, this stitch here, because, to be quite honest, I haven't done it in so long that I would have to relearn how to do this. I always have to look every single time I do this blanket stitch with the beads. But anyway, what I do is I take a piece of stiffened felt and I begin to stitch on top of the stitched felt. This is actually a backing piece of felt. I can tell by looking at it. I stitched two pieces together. So underneath here is a stiffened piece of felt that I did the beadwork onto. And for this particular piece, what I did was I stitched this focal point bead on here first. Then I added this fun little gold bead accent along the side, which is just a loop sewn down. But then the rest of these is kind of a fringe technique that I added there. And I'm pretty sure that these earrings are filled completely with this fringe technique. And then I just added a little loop at the top that I put the jewelry fining through. And when I turned it over, you might have already seen this and wondered what this was, this spot here. What happened was, originally, my cat looks like she wants to get involved when my hand went like that. Such a ward her off. Anyway, originally when I created these earrings, I wanted them to be post earrings. And so I glued down the post, and then I put them on, and they're so heavy. Well, they're actually kind of light, but they were so heavy and large for a post earring that they just kind of tilted and went like that. So I realized, okay, that's not going to work. So I actually, because I had put the post earring underneath the felt, I had glued it to the back of the first felt, put it underneath this, so all it was poking through. I had to use wire cutters to cut off the metal shank of the earring, the post. And so what you see here is, because there was still a piece outside of that, I put a bead on top of that metal post just so that it wasn't scratchy, and then I glued that on. So mistakes happen, and you just learn to live with them and you move on. But these are the earrings that I made, and I made the earrings to go with the bracelet that I made. And the bracelet that I made, which is this, and the earrings and the bracelet I actually did feature on my blog, which I will probably put the blog address down below, but I don't really do anything on the blog anymore. I find it's it's very hard for me to keep up with all the different means of social media. So when I can, I post on Instagram, but I mainly do stuff here on YouTube. But this is the bracelet that I made, and I did it in the same fashion. On the back of this, I had, again, on stiffened felt, I stitched everything. And then I cut this out to fit around the pieces. So I did this afterwards, and I do it freeform, so I kind of cut out as I was going along. I did have a plan for this piece, though. I did kind of lay this out on paper first, so that I knew what I was doing. Come on, camera. So I stitched the shamrock here in the middle, and you can tell there's a lot of texture in this. I did a lot of the, what's that called? Oh, the fringe technique with the things. Anyway, I like hidden elements, and I think that's why I like junk journals so much, is because of all of the different hidden pieces and whatever in a junk journal. So I planned all of this out. There's a couple of focal pieces stitched down, some larger beads. Most of this is fringe, which I'm going to show you in a tutorial that I'm going to do. And what I did was I planned this little hidden gem in there. So you can pull this out, and the idea behind this was that I was going to put something, a quote, or maybe even a picture or something that reminded me of my mother on that. My mother is the inspiration for all of my St. Patrick's Day pieces. My mother's birthday was on St. Patrick's Day, so I'm always doing things for that. So how I did this, because everybody's going to go, oh, I need to know how to do that. So as I told you before, there's two pieces stitched together. There's a stiffened felt, and then there's the backing piece. So it was the stiffened felt that I cut through so that I could put this piece in here. Now I will tell you, as you just noticed when I tried to put that back in there, it is not sturdy enough to slide in and out easily. So I don't do it very often. It didn't turn out to be the way that I wanted it to be. But it has to be, I'm going to zoom out. It has to be kind of soft enough so that it'll fit around my wrist, you know. So that was challenging. I may try to do another one sometime and see if I can perfect that little thing, because I think that's kind of a fun element. To finish it off, after I did the blanket stitch around the outside of the piece, then I added this bead thing here, just strung together with some bigger beads on the end, and then a piece down here at the bottom. And I will never be able to put this on my wrist like this on camera, but it comes in here like that, and then I put that on the back. And the earrings go nicely with the bracelet. But anyway, there's my St. Patrick's Day project. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please share it with other people. Invite them over to my channel. And thanks for watching. Thanks to all the new subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. You can't even know how much. Have a wonderful day. Thanks.